Howdy folks, this is Checkers, and this is Skyrim. I thought it would be a nice place to meet and to talk about where I've been and what I've been doing and how things are going. So if you follow the channel, you know that about a month, maybe a month and a half ago, on the morning of December 25th of 2020, I lost my beloved baby girl, Kitty, to a stroke. And just a few days later, I got the call that my mother had been rushed to the emergency room. So I also rushed to come back to my parents' home. And I have been trying to prepare for my mother to come home because that was always the hope and understanding. For most of that month, I've been working on clearing enough space in a room to move her bed so that a hospital bed could be brought in by the hospice services. That might sound fairly easy, but there are circumstances that make it more challenging than it might sound. Some of those have to do with the home, and some of them have to do with me. I know my mother will probably never see this video, but it would mortify her if I explained what all of the challenges were. Let's just say that my parents are fast approaching 90 years old, and my mother has had some help cleaning the house up until COVID. But when COVID struck, well, the help was no longer possible. And try to imagine that being very, very not good. There are things that make it hard to breathe. There are things that make it hard to move. There are just a lot of challenges. So it took me a month to clear enough space to move a single bed. And even that is made more difficult by my own health. If you don't know, if I exert myself too much or get even a little too hot, I start to black out. More exertion, more heat, the faster it happens. Just tonight, I was trying to help, and I couldn't understand what anyone was saying to me anymore. I just switch. People who watch it happen describe my eyes as changing from normal to the lights are on but nobody's home. The other day, I was walking and blacked out just for an instant. Just imagine like blinking your eyes, except your consciousness goes with it. Like when your computer is interrupted by a power surge and the monitor shuts off, but it doesn't quite reboot. Quick, but the thing is, my body's momentum kept me going forward. So when I came to, when I snapped back awake, I was still moving, and I tried to catch myself and twisted my leg, and something inside of it snapped. Quite loudly. It hurt really bad, still does. Created a magnificent bruise about the size of football, American or international, take your choice. It's about as big as both. Above and below my left knee. Just touching the bone there hurts. So throughout all of this, I've racked up a number of injuries. including breathing something bad that set me back about a week with a fever and a really, really bad cough. So it's been difficult. It's been a lot of late nights and early mornings and a lot of not enough sleep, and all just waiting to see what would happen. In about the middle of that, I got the call that my mother had contracted COVID, and shortly thereafter, double pneumonia. And then, much more shortly thereafter than you would think, I got the call that she was being released to come home. Not because she had gotten better, not because the pneumonia had gone away. She wasn't able to stand or take care of herself. Just the insurance was no longer going to pay for her to be there. So I had to beg to have her tested for COVID to know that my nearly 90-year-old father would be okay, let alone myself. My own doctor tells me that I'm high risk. And so finally, I got the call that she was negative for COVID and her pneumonia had gone away. And then the next day, no, the pneumonia's back, but she's coming home today. And so I tried to call the care center where she was and ask them if she could stay just another day or two. I wanted to find someplace safer for her to be, where the air was better to breathe than it is here, and no, they would not do that. It would have been a couple of months worth of groceries to pay just for a day or two, but it would have been worth it, I think. But no. And the hospice service that I've been working with suggested that I ask them to submit her to an ER to be cared for, but then the care center said no, that wasn't done, so they left me really no other choice than to bring her home. I was led to believe even at that point, I thought she was in better condition than she is. She is unable to sit up, let alone stand up. She is bedridden. And there are things you have to do to help someone who can't get out of bed or move in bed on their own. And while I am still fairly strong, I am only strong for a very short period of time before I can't think clearly and things go downhill from there. My father is not really in very good shape. I know that's surprising for someone nearly 90, but he's had a rough life too. So I don't know what happens now. We don't have nearly enough money to cover a skilled nursing facility. Not even by half. If we combined everything that my parents and I had, we couldn't pay for half a month. On top of all of that, I've been working just to keep their utilities on, which has been far more challenging than it should be during a pandemic. Even just alone for someone who had pneumonia. Every time I think I get a handle on something, it seems like 6 other things break loose. Like I'm fighting some sort of illicit hydra. Not the Marvel creation, but the actual creature. Chop off one head and 2 more take its place. I don't begrudge my parents. I'm not, you know, I don't feel bad that I'm here. I feel bad that I'm not capable of doing more or helping more. I love being with my parents. There are 12 cats here, which is a lot. Not nearly as much of a problem as the one single dog, though, because the one single dog is the exact opposite of house-trained and will only relieve itself on the living room floor. It's just a lot to do. For 15 years, I've had a hard time taking care of myself, and now I'm trying to do something that I'm not honestly physically capable of. Except there's no other choice. There's nothing else I can do. This is it. Every so often, I get to play a little bit. I've been playing some Heroes of Might and Magic 3 because it's a turn-based game, and you can always just walk away and come back, and it doesn't even heat up the computer. Part of the problem that I have environmentally is my father likes to keep the house very, very warm. And, like in the 80s warm, which for me is a problem because of the heat. So it takes a lot less to topple me here. And also games that heat up my computer just heat me up all the more quickly. But not that much of a problem because I really don't have that much time to play or do anything else. My mother has been home for a couple of days, and I'm trying to learn to do all of these things to help someone in her condition, things that I've never learned or known how to do. But again, there's just me. So I'll do my best, because what else can I do? I mean, I don't want to do less than my best. I just wish my best were better. And I'm not being hard on myself. Please don't think I'm being unkind to myself. I am broken. I have hurt myself badly. I threw my back out the first hour she was home just trying to move her bed. So I wrapped a brace around it and took some Advil, which makes me violently ill, but again, what else am I gonna do? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to avoid being Checkers prefect. Honestly, I would love to be Checkers at the moment. But right now, Checkers needs to spend some time with Morris, because I just don't have any more go at the moment. But I'm pretty smart, and I can adapt pretty well to most situations. You might find me able to sneak in a video here and there. I may even be able to sneak in a stream now and then. You're going to hear the rushing sound of the air filter and the ceiling fan, one to help me breathe and one to keep me cool. And I'm sorry about that too. That's the theatrical background in me. Always wanting to give the best performance. But I really need those. I tried to use like audio editing software to remove all the noise. I even had a friend of mine who is in the business take a look at it, but for both of us, the results took something warm out of my voice. And honestly, it reminds me a little too much of how people look at me when I start to black out. Like my soul is missing. Like the lights are on and nobody's home. I'm getting tired, but I'm sorry it's taken so long for me to get an update to you. It's been a long month. I'm sorry I haven't been responding to comments. I read them, but to be honest, thank you, because I appreciate them, but I can't respond. It makes me a little too emotional even now to think about, and I'm trying to get through this without doing that. But I read them, and I appreciate them, and I thank you for your kind words and thoughts and prayers. Thank you for giving me this chance to be Checker's prefect, to share the things I love with you, and to step away for some time to help my family. I appreciate all of it. I really do. I still remember the kind words when I had pneumonia, and how those comments got me through that, and I know that when I need a little extra help, I can look into the comments on the channel and find just a little more strength to keep going. I promise I won't give up. I won't. So, have a little faith and, keep some positive thoughts headed my way. I can use all the help I can get. Thank you to all of you who watch and don't leave a comment, for everyone who watches and takes a moment just to say hi, for everyone who subscribes or follows me on Twitch or Twitter or helps me out on Patreon or Ko-Fi or Coffee or whatever it is. Thank you all so much. It all means so much. You have no idea. Thank you. It's easy to lose hope, but it helps so much when it's so easy to find help. Thank you. Thank you. Now, do something for me. Be kind, not just to others, but to yourselves as well. Think of the things you love the most in this world. The people, the places, the songs, the scenes in movies, your best friends, and your beloved pets. Hold them close to your heart. Really appreciate having them in your life. Let them brighten your day. And please, above all, please, stay safe and take care.